Today, I have got a delicious cranberry relish recipe for you. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. If this is your first time here, my name's Pamela and I like to share deliciously easy plant-based recipes. So if those are the types of videos that you like, be sure to click that little red subscribe button down below along with the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. This week I have got a cranberry relish recipe that is perfect for your holiday table, and it includes no added sweeteners. So no honey, no maple syrup, no white sugar, no coconut sugar, no added sweeteners whatsoever, and it is absolutely delicious. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so as always, all of the ingredients are going to be listed in the description box down below, so be sure to check that out. I'm starting off by peeling some honeycrisp apples. Now, if you don't have honeycrisp apples specifically in your area, you're going to choose an apple that is listed as sweet but firm. So you want an apple that is going to hold up to a lot of cooking, like a long cooking. So you want, it might be listed as a baking apple, but you want one that's really sweet. So not a Granny Smith. Like a Granny Smith apple is good for baking, but they're quite tart. So you want an apple that's sweet all on its own, because this is going to take away the bite of the cranberries. So I'm starting off by peeling it and then taking out the core and then just dicing it up into a dice that's about the same size as the cranberries, maybe a little bit smaller. And I'm going to put in, so my apples are a little bit small, and I'm going to put in about the same amount as the cranberries. So depending on the size of your apples will kind of depend on how many apples you use. Now, this recipe has actually evolved over the years. I've used this same recipe, gosh, I don't even know how many years now, and I've just kind of adjusted it over the years depending on my diet. So this recipe started off as the standard bag of cranberries and white sugar on the stove. And then when I stopped using white table sugar, it changed to honey. Honey. And then when I stopped using honey because we went vegan, it changed to maple syrup. It's always had the orange in there. You can see the orange. And then of course the cinnamon, and then I've added some clove. But it's kind of adapted and changed and evolved as my diet has. So you can always take recipes that you love and enjoy and change them based on how you're eating now. So if you change the way that you eat, you can always adapt your recipes. So if you've got a recipe specifically that you're trying to adapt, or that you'd like to adapt, feel free to let me know, and I can definitely help you out with that, because I do that all the time with my recipes, as you saw in my stuffed portobello mushroom recipe. That was actually, as I said in that video, from my last year's recipe, the mushroom Wellington recipe. I based it off of that. Anyway, so I've got enough apples here. I'm just going to go ahead and throw in my cranberries. They're already rinsed, and this is just one bag of cranberries. So it's about 2 cups of cranberries. And then I've got 1 orange here. Now, the original recipe called for 2 oranges, but because we're not using a whole bunch of sweetener, I'm only using 1 orange. So I'm going to zest this entire orange. And I love this little zester, by the way. It folds up nice and small, and goes right into my utensil drawer. I also use it for like my frozen ginger, and then also for like mincing up my, or like grating up my garlic too. I love this little zester. I can put a link to it down in the description box down below. But anyway, so I'm gonna zest this entire orange. And then I'm going to cut off the rind, because I'm going to also put the fruit in here because I want all of the fruit and the juice. And so instead of like trying to peel this, I'm just going to cut the rind off, because that's way easier than trying to peel this and get all of the pith off, because the white part, the pith part, is really bitter. And so if any of that gets into my cranberry sauce, it's again going to make this sauce bitter because the cranberries are really tart. So even though you can see there I'm losing a bit of the fruit, that's okay because I really don't want to get any of the white pith in there. So getting as much as I can off of there. And then even the center is going to have quite a bit of pith, you can see there. So I'm just going to kind of core that like you would core an apple. And then I'm going to, once I've got all of that out of there, I'm pretty much going to dice this again about the same size as the cranberries. So I don't want any chunks that are too big. This is all going to kind of stew down. And so I don't want any chunks that are going to be too large. I want everything to be nice and uniform. So I want everything to be the same size. So the cranberries, the apples, and then the oranges. Although the oranges are pretty much going to disintegrate with how long this is going to cook. In total, when everything is said and done, this basically is going to cook for 24 hours. So I'm going to use my Instant Pot on its slow cook function. So if you've got a slow cooker, you can use a slow cooker. If you've got your Instant Pot, you can use your Instant Pot. You can also do this in a pot on the stove. But it does take a while. So if you've got a slow cooker, definitely that is the way to go because then you don't have to watch it. Okay, on to the spices. So again, this is an adapted recipe. The original recipe called for a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I actually decided to double that. And it called for a pinch of clove, and so I did a 1/2 of a teaspoon of clove. And then I'm just pouring in a little bit of water to get that going so it like doesn't burn the bottom of my Instant Pot. Again, all of the quantities are going to be in the description box down below. So you don't miss any of that. So you don't have to rewind this video to get all of that. So here's my Instant Pot. I've got the lid on the insert. And just to start with, I'm going to set this for 10 hours on the high. So there's 10 hours, and then I'm going to adjust it to set it to high cook. And here we are at about halfway through cooking. And that's what it looks like. So it's cooked down pretty good. It's still quite liquidy. So I am going to put the lid back on and continue to cook this. So this is evening time from when I originally started it. And so I'm going to turn it off, turn it back onto slow cook, and it's set for 10 hours, but I'm actually going to set this for, I think I ended up setting it for like 20 hours because I'm going to bed. So this is, again, nighttime. So 20 hours, and I'm going to wake up the next morning, and actually I let it sit until the afternoon or late morning. I can't quite remember, but it was about 24 hours. So this is what it looks like 24 hours later, and my kids tried it and they thought it was absolutely delicious. I tried it too, and it is so good. I am so excited and cannot wait to share this during my holiday meals. I know all of my guests are absolutely gonna love this because it is so delicious, and it has no sugars and no sweeteners. It's amazing. You are going to love this recipe too. Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear what you think. All right, that is it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, be sure to give it a click right now, and I will see you next time.